In the northern panhandle of Idaho lies a 7-mile stretch of road that has become one of the most historic places in the history of American mining. Burke Canyon Road, Old Highway 4 in the Silver Valley, winds its way from Wallce to the old mining town of Burke. Burke is often called a ghost town, but in reality it's not. There are people who still live there and along the canyon road itself. And as you make your way up, you'll find several of the old mills and mine sites, along with few of the old communities that turn this area into one of the largest silver and lead producers in the world. If you come to Wallce during July or September, it's highly recommended that you take the Sierra Silver Mine Tours Ghost Town Trolley. The trolley operates Wednesday through Saturday during the months of July and August. Now, I've never taken the Sierra Ghost Town Trolley personally, but I've heard many who say it was time well spent and very enjoyable. The tour takes about an hour, and I'd really encourage everyone to take it if possible. But for those who may wish to just drive it themselves, or those who can't be here during the months of July and August, this video shows some of the same historical sites that one can find on that short trip tour. This tour starts at the center of the universe. Yes, that's right, the center of the universe. Now, you won't need the USS Enterprise to get there either, because in case you didn't know, the center of the universe is right here in Wallce. It's located in the intersection of Bank and 6th Street. It says so right there on the sign, so it must be true. It is kind of ironic that the center of the universe is a manhole cover located in a place that serious injury and possibly death could happen if you try to stand in it. Anyway, setting the mileage on the car's trip meter to 0 as you cross it will help send you on your way. Heading east on Bank Street, just continue on that road through town and go under the I-90 overpass. Just a little bit up from the overpass and on your right, you can see the remains of the old Standard Union Mill. Ore was brought down the canyon on rail and then pushed up to the top. Not much remains but 2 of the buildings and some miscellaneous scrap iron. Traveling a bit further, you come to the small community of Woodland Park. On the right, you'll see the impoundments of tailings from the old Hecla Star mines that were located further up in Burke. Behind that is what is left of the Silver Canyon mine, also known as the Formosa. When rich ore was struck, the employees and their families got to go to Hawaii at company expense. Between 1931 and 1974, the mine produced 101,000 ounces of silver and over 1,500 tons of lead. Continuing up the road, you come to the community of Jim. Across the river and to the right, you can see all that is left of the old Jim mine and mill. Jim was once a thriving community, known as Jim in the Mountains, Jim Village, and Davenport. This community, along with Frisco, which is only a stone's throw away, was the site of the first violence of the mining wars of 1892. From Jim, you can still see what's left of the old Frisco mill. Frisco is just a little over 4 miles from the center of the universe. There is a historical marker along the side of the road that shares some of the information about the events that happened that night in July. At the Frisco, armed Union miners had surrounded the mill that had non-Union workers inside. And just like Jim, the mill had guards there to protect them from the Union workers. At 5 in the morning, a gunfight broke out between Union miners and those inside. The firing became continuous. Above the mill, Union miners were able to send a box of black powder down the flume into one of the Frisco buildings. The resulting explosion killed one man and severely injured 5 others. Those killed in the violence that night at Jim and Frisco were laid to rest at the 9 Mile Cemetery just north of Wallce. A memorial has been placed there for them. Much more can be said about the mining wars of 1892 and the violence that came again in 1899, but I'm saving that for another video.